Welcome back to Tabletop Talk, Call of Cthulhu, Antarctica. We left our heroes, we had just discovered that the creatures that are attacking the vehicle may also have firearms, as we have just had our intrepid people return from checking out the damage on the outside and have learned that instead of claw marks and giant impact dents, there are actually holes in the hull that look like they were made by large bullets. And as we learned from the end of last session, at least one of you yelled out, "Oh no, they can turn into bullets!" It's like
the obvious conclusion.
Which seems less likely.
So how big? How big are these holes?
They're about like an inch in diameter.
I was picturing giant holes.
Like
door size.
Yeah, I was imagining me too.
I thought you were thinking like unicorn narwhal holes like this.
No, I was thinking big holes.
No, if they were that big, they would be big enough that you would have felt the wind on the inside.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, how did he not notice this inside the engine?
Yeah,
no. Freezing his butt off.
These are like large bullet holes, like an inch in diameter.
Okay.
All right, so the two that went outside, have they taken off their suits yet?
They don't have to have, because we were picking up when this discovery was made, so they're still in the airlock if you need them to be.
This is where Ringo is immediately going to rush over to the suits and start examining them.
While they're still in them?
Yeah, because he's freaking out.
By the way, I remember who went outside if nobody else does.
I remember who.
Yeah, it was
the engineer.
It was
and
Winchow.
the girl.
Winchow.
Yep. No, but so for you have to wait till, if that's the case, you have to wait till they've gotten them off, because they would have removed the suits in the airlock.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay.
In that case,
You can press your face against the glass.
Yeah. I'll press my face up against the glass.
All right.
Sure.
They're excited by how excited you are that they have made it back.
Well, I'm yelling, which I doubt they can hear it.
They cannot hear you.
Need to
no,
check
you can use the.
Oh, there's an intercom?
Intercom. I was gonna say you could use the Instagram, but that wasn't the word I was thinking of. It's like
You can't use Instagram. Your social media is on freeze.
Yeah.
Probation.
that's right.
Which, at this point, I need to talk to you about doing something secret when there's a moment.
Ooh.
So you gotta do this first, and then your secret.
Yeah. So I'm gonna press on the intercom, and hold on, I gotta rethink my accent. I think, therefore, I am. I think, therefore, I am. We need to check the suits.
For what?
If there's a bullet hole from the beast bumping into the machine, then it's possible when it originally bumped into us, it was meaning to bore into the suit.
Oh, well, if the suits have been compromised, we would have already been alerted when we put them on and went outside.
So you don't think it's worth a check?
Well, I mean, we do the usual cross-check, but we have a panel here that specifically would tell us suit has been compromised if it wasn't airtight.
Can I trust that? I don't know,
The technology?
The technology?
You can. You know why? Because the technology is keeping us alive out here.
Certainly you wouldn't mind me checking it manually then.
Sure. I didn't know you had suit technology expertise.
What else am I going to do here?
You're
I might as well do something I find useful.
Oh.
I'd like to have the peace of mind to know.
Ringo, what's going on?
When it bumped into... who was it that it bumped...
Well, it originally bumped into Kowal, Anthony Kowal.
Don't you find it strange that it bumped into Kowal?
I mean, I don't really know what to think about it.
It's odd, isn't it? Right? This is its environment. You would just bump into something? Look outside. It's a 1,000,000 to 1 chance that it would bump into someone. It had to have done it on purpose. It rammed into the hawk here, the falcon.
I'll get what you're saying. Right.
So then I'm saying it's purposeful. It did it on purpose.
Carry on. Go ahead.
The door opens, and the two of them come out, and they return to their stations, going, They're all yours. You want to check out the suits?
We'll see if you can trust your technology.
Have a crack at it, lad.
I will investigate the suits just for the peace of mind to know if my theory is correct.
Welcome
Or
to the
incorrect.
airlock.
All right, I begin my examination.
Oh, all right. How specific? Like, are you putting the suit on? Are you doing diagnostics, or are you like just looking from the outside?
No, I'm just looking
blowing?
from the outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is after we've reviewed the footage showing the
Yes,
holes.
Yeah.
Did everyone kind of go back to what they were doing before?
No,
or-
so this is simultaneous with that. Like they've just come back in, and they've just removed their suits, and Ringo is in the airlock now, looking at the suits, while these people have come back, and you guys are now all gathered around screens looking at the video.
So you haven't seen the holes yet.
Wait, well, I mean,
yeah.
I
Oh, no,
would
they've
have
seen
had
it.
to have seen the
Yeah, you've
hole
seen them,
in order
but
to do
now-
this line of action.
This is the
So then, like, a thought occurs to you, and you go.
I had
"No,
something
yes,
that I was
okay."
half doing, sort of.
Oh, okay.
I was keeping an eye on the scenarios that Winchow was running on her.
Oh, that's right. So you were looking at all those scenarios.
But that's just been cycling, and so
Yep.
I only have like just an eye on it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and they every once in a while, like there will be like a ping and a screen pops off that says, "Oh, here's a likely model," and all that sort of thing. How good are you at looking at these things? Do you have a background where you're like, "Oh, these are some physics things that make sense"?
you
Because
know,
they're mostly just strings of like numbers of degrees and variables.
are
and
we
whatnot.
able to maybe say that at some moment I asked Winchow about how this computer works, and you can determine whether or not she would give me the time of day to bother to give like a simple like don't fuck it up sort of overview, like if I want to just review something?
She would probably have only gone so far as saying, this is what it is, like we're doing like trajectory plots and whatnot based on a very limited amount of data.
Okay.
And like when it comes to likely scenarios, it will like populate and say this one, like she's basically looking for scenarios that have better than an 80% chance of being true. And
Okay.
those are like being populated.
Then I
But-
think that if she's told me that, then I'm just going to look, and every once in a while I'll check a percentage of what this scenario reads out. If it's like
Basically,
above,
there's-
if it's above 80%.
There's a half a dozen that have popped out so far
Mm-hmm.
that have said these are some possibilities of how fast the creature moves, where it's coming from, that kind of thing.
I don't really have any like authority to like touch this computer, do I?
You don't. The contrast, however, is that because of the nature of how this expedition is, authority is like there's no official chain of you have to log in.
Okay.
Like it was just like, oh, I'm the geologist. I'm gonna be at the geologist terminal doing that. It's more like Star Trek, how like, oh, Worf isn't here. I'm just gonna go over to Worf station and like do some random button
Okay.
mashing.
Yeah,
Well-
like it's assumed people will stick to their
Yeah.
respective specialties.
I'll
but
leave
not-
it. I'll leave it for now. But yeah, my thought process is also not to interrupt the process by touching something.
Yeah, like if the
shut up.
janitor is suddenly sitting at a terminal typing away, I think one of the other scientists would go, "Hey, what you doing over there?" And if they lean over and it's not Minecraft, they're gonna be like, "Hey, you better be playing Minecraft there, because
I'm better at Android for Minecraft, not my thing.
Minecraft is ageless.
I'm more of like a mist.
yeah." Oh, okay. You did. I should point out at this point that as you guys were traveling out here before anything was going on, a lot of the scientists were playing Fortnite.
really.
This is like your bread and butter, because this is like
Yeah, you hate Fortnite, but you have
I can
to
do
play
the
it.
dance. I can do the dance.
I did the dance and I played it once on stream, but it's not a good game.
It was mostly that they wanted to find the game that most of them were able to play, as opposed to like, oh, I play Overwatch. It's like none of us play Overwatch.
Can you play Fortnite offline?
Not that I'm aware of.
No.
Then why? Never mind.
It's a LAN party, Peter.
Okay.
In a year when this makes it on this channel, that will have actually happened.
Oh,
yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Or by the
So-
time this makes it on the channel, people are like, "What's Fortnite? Is that a game from the 80s?"
is that?
So these holes, I just want to like say to anyone who's to the air, everyone around. How deep are they? Did they penetrate the Falcon?
Oh, they definitely have penetrated the Falcon. But now we have to figure out how far they've gone because this wasn't what we were looking for. Like, we thought it was just compression damage where, like, a large creature ran into it and we're looking for dents and things. But this explains why our systems are failing because whatever is penetrated into the ship has gone far deeper than we thought.
So you're saying it's...
Cole is, like, back in the bottles now looking at stuff.
You're saying it's on the inside, then?
Sure.
Were the holes in any sort of pattern?
No, not that. Well, what do you mean? Like, they were all where the impacts were, but there wasn't an indication that, like, they were in, like...
But they
Like
weren't
all
in,
the-
like, claw-shaped...
No.
Or
All the
anything,
impacts
or,
have,
like, tooth... Or, like, bite marks or
No,
anything
they look like
that. They
actual,
look
like,
random.
penetration, like, either bullet holes or, like, giant spikes that would run into.
Yeah.
This is in addition to some amount of impact damage.
Yes.
Are the spike holes at the center of impacts?
That is
Yeah, that's what
not...
I'm wondering.
That's not that specific. So we're not talking about, like, a spike in the middle of, like, a forehead or something like that. But kind of, maybe. Like, the impact dents
Multiple
are...
per impact site.
No, one per impact site.
One per impact
It's
site.
quite fascinating to think that an animal will be able to create something so precise. Something, so it feels like something you need some knowledge about how bullets work in order to get that sort of feel.
Yeah. Or... I mean, the fact that it is attacking the Falcon at all is shocking. Like, most animals wouldn't, like, think that there would be anything on the inside, I would assume. In fact, most animals would run the opposite direction. This giant hulking thing making tons of noise going through their natural habitat.
It is important to note that they may simply have no idea what this is. Like, it's entirely possible that these creatures are only active during this winter season, and this is the first time they've encountered anything. For all they know, this is just another animal. Scott has now come down to see what the hubbub is about, and he's, like, poking over people's shoulders and trying to see if, like, there's anything on the screen that looks interesting.
Scott, did you hear about the impacts?
I saw it on the screens upstairs. That's why I thought I'd come down and see what's going on. I see Koval's already gone down to the balls to have a look.
We're just giving a bit of a look over the suits just to make sure they weren't compromised. So
Wait, Koval went by himself
no.
down there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's not really room for two people in there.
Well, what do we have a way to monitor him? Like, make sure he's okay down there? I mean, if like you guys were saying, these creatures, their cells can survive independently of their bodies. I mean, if it injected something into the ship, there could be something down there with him right now.
I will go check on him.
All right. Yeah. So Scott's answer is like, no, we didn't think we would need to put cameras in like the part where the piping is. So no, there is no way to check on him. When you get down there, you basically catch Kowal's, like you can see like his body's like just mostly you see his legs are sticking out of a hole somewhere, and he's like in there digging around. It's like he's under a car, except he's inside like a tube, and you hear him most like occasionally swearing and basically like mumbling to himself about how bad things are.
Anthony, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. What's happening up there? Things are not looking good down here.
Oh yes, how so? How many systems have been penetrated?
It's too difficult to tell because of what's connected and what isn't. All I can tell you right now is that I'm soaking in fuel because I'm laying in a pool of it.
Can I bring you anything?
Yeah, you can bring me like 20 rolls of duct tape here. But
I will be right back.
No, no.
I go grab him some stuff.
Wait, so do you come back up?
Yeah, and grab some duct tape and
Okay.
a bunch
When
of
you come back up, I'm like-
rags and stuff.
Well, what did he say? Has he seen anything?
He is yet to determine how bad the damage is, but there is it is difficult to locate
Okay.
precise damage.
So Koa comes back in before you can return with
Oh.
your extra duct tape. Well, when you said you were gonna go get duct tape, it was like,
Don't waste. Yeah.
don't waste your time. It's not gonna be. So he comes back in, and the first thing anyone who notices is that you can smell him. Basically, he's like soaked in a bunch of fuel, and like he smells like gasoline now. And
I give him the wipes that I grabbed.
oh, great! It's like he wipes off his face. He's appreciative because it's kind of gross. We're in big trouble. We've lost at least half our fuel. I did a little bit of patching up, but we didn't realize that the damage was quite as bad. We never imagined we would have to check on fuel supplies. We have a little bit of backup, but I don't even know if we have enough to get back to the ship at this point. We're gonna have to radio for help, and hopefully we'll be able to find shelter. If it turns out we run out of battery life and fuel, we may be stuck here for a long haul until the ship can send someone. My recommendation is that we try to use what little fuel we have left to get into the mountains and see if we can't hole up in one of the caves. If we lose power and fuel here and we are attacked a couple more times, this whole thing would just become an icebox. We're going to need shelter from the winter.
Would caves provide adequate shelter?
It would be better than being out here in a giant metal box.
Also, a bit run a risk that animals run the caves.
Well, that is true. But depending on how bad things are, a week or two after, this thing just gets colder and colder in here. We'll no longer have adequate heating. And then the weather will just take us. We'll be sheltered from the winds, of course, but there's no heat retention. It'll be up in the surface. In the caves, hopefully we can go deeper and take advantage of the geothermals. And that's how a lot of animals survive the winter. At least we'll be closer to freezing. And with body warmth and food and maybe a few of our heat sources, we could probably last there a month, maybe even 2 with our resources.
Ringo, what do you think, mate? But
Well, I'm in the airlock still.
oh, you're still in the airlock.
I'm checking those suits thoroughly.
Like this is like the one moment that I'd be like,
Your
meteorology thing.
Yeah, your
Let me
first
hit you
check
up.
through seems fine. Like you don't see any obvious rips. Like this is one of those like moments where like you're going through the suits and dun dun, there's a big rip
No,
on the leg or something.
if I'm to find something, I'm expecting it to be a very tiny hole, something that would bypass the technology systems.
Oh, like something small enough that.
Yeah,
would be,
yeah, because it's like, okay, so they didn't notice it, went past the technology. If my theory is correct, it has to be small to not set off any alarms.
Interesting. Make a luck check.
Ooh, my luck is 85.
Ooh.
Nice.
Damn.
Good.
46.
Ooh. So you don't find any microscopic holes, but as you're checking through, there's one moment where when you're like looking through Wen's suit, that your hand kind of rubs over a spot that's like sticky. And now you have like sticky stuff on your hand.
Huh.
It's sort of like, oh, someone dripped candle wax onto this surface and you keep accidentally touching it because no one bothered to clean it up.
What? So it's a sticky substance?
I don't know
Is
who would do that.
Yeah, are you the kind of person who naturally, whenever you touch something sticky, you bring it to your mouth?
there-
And,
No.
Are you sure?
I mean, this is Ringo Stiles. I imagine him to be a bit more of a clean freak
Oh.
than anything else,
Yes.
right? With his, affluent upbringing.
Sure. So this is clearly like how you would feel like when you were with the boy band. Occasionally, you had one of your bandmates was the one who would eat chocolate with his hands and then touch things,
Yeah.
and it would always bother you. This is how this feels. Like someone like wiped something sticky off on the surface and just didn't clean it up.
Is there any other descriptions? Or is it just like a sticky, clear substance?
Yeah, it's colorless. It's sort of like
A
just someone.
sticky-
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It's like jizz.
I'm gonna have to find a scientist.
Fresh shit.
I'm gonna have to find a scientist.
Oh.
So I'm gonna
You're in luck. There's a whole bunch of them on this ship.
leave the airlock.
Yeah.
And say,
Scientist, my hands
excuse
are
me, I could
sticky."
use the help of someone who knows how to use science tools.
All right.
the biologist.
Count,
Almost everyone looks over at you.
count me
Except
out.
one
Mate.
person,
Deborah,
not
the
all of you.
biologist.
I was checking out the suits,
Can't be bothered.
and I found a sticky substance on the surface of the suit.
Ooh. Exciting.
It's on my hand.
So
Wait, your backhand?
so a bunch of people come over and look and they don't see anything. So they're like,
It's clear. I mean, can you trust me?
Go and see if.
I waste your time, but I'm not.
So
gonna
Deborah
waste
is
your time
already
like
over
this.
there with a little swab.
Thank you.
And she's
Okay.
swabbing your fingers. And then she like goes back to her station and gets a little.
Did she at least swab the right spot?
I mean,
of
I'm
your
gonna
hand?
point
Okay,
out,
yeah.
be like, this is where I felt it.
Right, Ringo, now you're back.
And then she hands you a wet wipe.
Thank you.
We were being in the middle of conversation about,
Yeah.
you know, what to do.
Yeah.
With
Are
limited,
we heading back? That'd be great.
Well, we have limited fuel, as in
Enough to head back.
not quite. We're kind of leaking petrol. So
I want to like walk over and like put my hand on Ringo's shoulder, like I'm giving him bad news.
the reason why I'm bringing it up to you is, you know, you've got a bit of background in meteorology, so
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you have any advice to provide. You know, you'd be able to contribute.
Advice for what?
Ringo, they say that there's not enough fuel to get back.
I think our best option is to maybe stay in some caves, mate. Unless you got some advice to contrary.
I'm gonna die.
Well, that's why I'm asking you. Do you think that there's a better solution? Where to go?
I mean, I could take a look at the weather reports and see if which direction the weather.
These are the
going.
best weather reports. It's like when you go to Las Vegas in the summer and you look at the weather report, and it's like, today's weather, similar to yesterday,
Yeah.
and the day before, and the week before.
Mostly what I'm doing this is just to be like, I'm getting you involved, Ringo.
It's mostly dark.
Well,
Trying to distract me
cold
with work.
I'm trying to like up your cred.
Ringo, can you extrapolate from past data when road will become travelable again?
Yeah. We could do something like that.
How long we are likely to be?
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's usually bad weather around here. It's not a good time.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months.
Do we have enough food for that?
No. Well, no one's died yet. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. How many people would we have to eat?
Wait, what?
I'm preparing for the end game here.
Well, it depends on who you would eat.
Very good
Because
point, very good
and
point.
how
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
Because the sooner you eat someone, the more food you have available.
Well, I mean,
We
what-
must carefully ration.
Well, I mean,
portions.
make them into
So
jerky,
you
right?
or you could eat portions of people.
No,
Alright.
not what I.
I'm just gonna.
All right, so
I'm gonna see myself
we're gonna go into
out of
caves.
this conversation, mate.
All right. Listen, I didn't come here to die.
Bit of liberty to start talking about cannibalism. So,
All right. I'm just
I ain't having it, mate.
preparing for the worst.
Some of the scientists are quite impressed that for civilians, with your lack of scientific background, that you're so sanguine about being pragmatic about the possible outcomes. Yes, I admire the fact that they've very considered cannibalism as a possibility.
Right.
Maybe
Boy,
they're not.
boy band travel arrangements are notoriously dangerous.
So now seems like a good time.
We've already eaten 3 people.
Well, okay, all right.
started.
It is not a
consider-
possibility, but an eventuality.
Consider this. Maybe, you know, we go to the caves, might be some animals, might be able to hunt for ourselves. Then we wouldn't have to resort to cannibalism like savages.
No.
Hunt for
Let's be
what in
hopeful.
the caves? Exactly.
I want to prep for a secret action I'd like to do.
Ooh.
Are
Are you gonna text me the secret, or are you
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say it
No,
out
no,
loud?
we allowed to know
everyone,
this?
everyone can know about this.
Ooh,
this
nice.
is really just something to go against.
See what
what's
your
his
hand tastes
name?
like?
No. This is something to go against Markham Scott.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Like Ringo comes
do
back
we-
with a hook.
Do we still have like internet once every like day?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a good like 6-hour cycle where you
So
have access.
Ringo's gonna mentally prep for the next time of internet,
Ooh.
and what he's going to do is he's going to sequester himself away, and schedule a tweet
Ooh.
for like, let's call it 6 months from now.
Okay.
Long enough so that like I won't have to worry about it all the time. And the tweet is going to read, if you are reading this,
We are already dead.
we are already dead, and it's Markham Scott's fault. He is a failure, and his expedition is terrible, or something like that.
Yeah, it was like...
Markham Scott took this expedition to the limit and killed us all. Wow. He deserves no glory. And then
Wow.
schedule the tweet for 6 months from now
Okay.
to effectively create a dead man's switch.
Nice.
You know, it'd be really
And
funny.
now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break my phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Wait,
What
don't
about sending for
maybe
help?
don't do that quite
Don't
yet.
do that quite yet. Okay. I was just thinking like dead man switch. It's like the
There's
only way.
lots of cool things you can do with your phone.
I
They
guess
double as
that's true.
flashlights.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna in that case, I will.
We could call for help, maybe?
no,
I
you
will
can't call.
reformat my phone.
Okay.
So it'll
You could
log
te-
out
you
of
could
all
Oh, you're
social
you're
networks.
messages
restoring to factory
anytime,
settings.
though.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the idea is that the only way for me to stop this tweet and stop the tweet that Markham Scott is a failure to 5 million followers
Is to get back alive.
is to get back alive.
That'd be really funny if you got
Wow.
back alive and forgot that you had scheduled that tweet.
So this is so you can threaten Markham Scott with it?
Pretty much.
Even
Yeah.
funnier though is the
That's
idea
pretty-
that
that's
he'll
pretty
still have
interesting.
5 million followers after not tweeting for 6 months.
Oh.
People love that shit. People
Yeah.
be like,
well,
It'll
adds
be
to the
like,
air.
yeah, 6 months later, it'll be this tweet saying like we're already dead, and they're like, yeah, we assumed that 5 months ago.
But but would you still be following them?
I imagine it would
Ooh,
get like
interesting.
hit on like TMZ or something like that.
It would be
People are always
super
like-
awkward if your undead doppelganger returns with no memory of this tweet being prepared, and then it gets tweeted out. And it's like,
Yeah, and
but
it's like, what
Ringo
is
Starr has been performing for the last
Yeah.
3 months.
Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's an interesting.
3 of his fellow boy band members have gone missing recently.
Okay.
But-
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm doing.
All right.
Social media dead man switch, and let's not go the extreme route. We're just logging out
Okay.
of like that social media stuff.
Okay. So you're not even resetting the factory settings.
I'm not gonna reset it because it's like I guess you could put a gun to my head and say like stop the tweet, but then I would just not. I don't think you could get to my phone and like. Oh, I'm gonna log out of email as well.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I mean, if you really care a lot, you could maybe just take out your SIM card.
Oh yeah, I guess I could hide the SIM card. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
This is like beginnings of plans. Maybe later on, if it's like shit's getting really real, hide the SIM card.
There's also like this whole thing is like, how much do you know about this stuff? Maybe you just watch a lot of TV shows and you think the right thing to do is just throw it on the ground and stomp it with your heel, right?
Yeah, I
It's
don't.
like-
I mean, it's
Because that's what you learned in the movies.
Yeah,
It's like-
let's take baby steps for now and not take the movie like destroy the phone to not stop.
My
it.
favorite movie trope is when the spy grabs you off the street and says, "We gotta go," and they take your phone and just throw it in the garbage can and then run off. It's like that does nothing. It's like the least valuable.
Well, I'm kind of like, when I think about it, when there's Call of Cthulhu in different eras, the modern era, the real benefit of it all is to have the communication.
Yes.
Right. Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
if this was back in Cardiff, you would have no cell phone.
Yes.
You'd be royally fucked.
All right. So,
So-
dead man tweet.
Yep. All done.
All, and then that's all I wanted this
All right.
for.
So as you guys are looking over this, and Koa has come back up to report how bad things are, there is a pop and a cracking sound that you could all hear, and the lights on the side where the bay doors are have gone out.
Is it supposed to do that?
No,
All right.
they're
Like they were just destroyed, or
that's how it seems. That they well, there's a noise and the lights went out. So,
But it's not like a smash sound. It's like a pop, like the filament were to die.
yeah, like a crack pop, like the bulb exploded.
Is that just one light, or is it a whole like left
There's
side of the
two
ship?
banks of lights on that side. So
Okay.
so you have your headlamps in the front.
Yeah.
Side banks. They're basically two sets of like floodlight type of lamps.
Oh,
and
so
then-
this is an external light?
yeah. So
Yeah.
these are the external.
Okay.
There's basically a pair of flood lamps that are basically headlights, a pair of flood lamps on either side, and then a single flood lamp on the back.
I'd like to go to if there's like a breaker box and check it out. See.
Well, it's all computer terminal stuff, so you can check.
Yeah, I'm
And-
sure. Yeah, as the janitor, I'm sure that's one of the
And you can
things I've
see
been
it
briefed on.
says that the lights on that side are out. Like the little red flashing things are like lights out. Which would be what it would show if the bulbs had just burned out or shorted. Normally what would happen is you just have someone go out in a suit and replace the bulb.
Okay, it reads that it's been set out instead of like reading that like, oh, they're perfectly fine.
Yeah, they do read that their lights are off.
Okay,
But it's pitch black on that side now, so you can't see anything.
right. We got ourselves a bit of a short.
Yeah, is that an external or an internal problem, Koval?
Well, the sensors say that the lights are out, so it sounds like external. If it was internal, we wouldn't get a reading at all. But there's no way to tell right now. So many things are failing right now. Can't tell what's connected to what. We did hear something, so at least it's not like it wasn't just like the electricity went out.
Well, we need that light up, right?
Oh yeah,
Who knows what could be out there? Actually, we all know what could be out there.
that is
Without
very
a light on that side, it could be right up next to us, and we'd never know.
Thanks for that, mate. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Do we have any way of
that's the side with the doors.
I don't know, redirecting one
It's
of
actually
the
the kind of thing I love to
floodlights
hear.
temporarily?
they're fixed. Like they can rotate a little bit, and that's all you got.
Okay.
Like you can go out there and replace things, but you have to go out to
Yeah,
actually manually work on them.
All right. Do we have any portable lights, like large ones, not just small flashlights?
You have those, you know, those like big lamp things that you carry around. You have those for when you go outside.
like halogens, big ones.
Are these
They're
the big
handheld.
flashlights that
Yeah.
have the handle on
Yep,
the top?
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Would
Do
you
you
like
have
me to
those?
go replace your light bulbs?
Well, we need to get them replaced.
Ringo, get over here.
Yeah.
It's Deborah who
Oh.
took your sample.
Hey, Deborah, what'd you find?
She points to the screen for anyone who has to look, and you see some very familiar cells that are like moving on their own.
Oh boy.
Oh, nicely done. Can I see your hand there, please?
Yes, of course.
So the other one, the one that the stickiness was on. All right. So she kind of lays your hand down, and you had wiped it down already with your thing, right? So
Wet wipe.
yeah. So she's now pulling the microscope over and trying to like do a scan of your hand where the stickiness was.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's problematic, you know, it's not as good as little cell. She has to like jiggle around with it. Everyone's kind of looking around, and you're getting a really nice view of your skin. You know, it really gets down there. You can see like all the little like imperfections and whatnot.
Those are the hands of a man who's a bit of a boy band member.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Nice and soft.
maybe on holiday he goes.
lot of-
Maybe he's on the deadliest catch during the holidays, and it's like he's a crabber.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
But once you get a little bit of resolution, you can see that there are a couple of spots where she locates a cell.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, look at that.
We're gonna have to cut my hand off.
No, I don't. I think that would be
Hey,
premature.
pack it in.
But it definitely does seem like you're gonna have to do a little better than just a wet wipe.
Go
All
scrub
right.
your hands.
Yeah, you should probably go
Okay,
into
okay.
the med bay and scrub down.
Scrubbing down.
Yeah.
Scrub
Ring-
down.
Ringo, this is very important. What else did you touch while in ever since you touched the sticky point?
Well, there was a coffee cup, the coffee maker. There was,
Were you doing that phone thing during this time as well?
I guess so.
All right.
My just touching my phone.
0.
Some handles, I guess. I've been in a lot of places.
Rubbed my eye.
He's just been running around, rubbing his hands
Yeah.
on
Touching
everything.
everything.
Every time he comes to talk to you, he puts a hand on their shoulder. It's like, I've touched all of you. You may not have noticed it. But every time I come by, I put my hand on your shoulder.
It's like, I put my hand on his shoulder, but I didn't touch his hand, so I'm probably fine. But
Deborah, are we a bit concerned at all that this is airborne?
We haven't found that these cells are motive on their own. Like they're kind of like just like we haven't seen them moving around enough that we could see them traveling. But we have only looked at them on slides.
But most of traveling in order to get to us.
Well, I can't say at this point. There's a lot more going on. Like clearly alcohol wipes are not sufficient to get rid of all of them, and whatever, like that cell definitely looks like it's still alive.
Worst comes to worst, you can burn your fingers off, mate.
Oh no.
We might be a bit past that. She looks around to where you would have thrown the wet wipe away,
A bit
Yeah.
past.
and she retrieves it from the little garbage thing, and she looks at that and it's like, wow. And you can see from the display that the cells on the wet wipe are also still alive, or at least they look like they're moving a little bit. So alcohol is not enough. Interesting. This is so fascinating.
All right, if we, why alcohol can't kill him? What about, there's that substance, you crush down little seashells, and it makes little tiny micro rocks. Use them to kill fleas. Could those work? Do we have any of those?
Soft scrub?
Or since they are meant to survive in frigid climate, would they be susceptible to extreme heat?
Oh, almost everything is, but it's pretty warm in here already. I mean, it's like a good 70 degrees in here.
No, I think he's talking
No,
about something
I'm
a bit more,
thinking
more significant.
Yeah, more than this for
I
certain.
kind of literally meant maybe burn his fingers off.
Well,
Or just match.
well, that's
or-
easily tested enough. So she puts the
Peter might want to be here to see.
no, she puts the wet wipe into a little petri dish and she just sets fire to it. It's like,
Oh, all right. She has set fire to the petri dish.
Ringo has smuggled a cat onto the Falcon. It's been hiding in the bowels
Yeah,
of the
it's
ship
on
ever
his
since.
hand.
In 5 months, the spores have
Grown into
grown
a cat.
into a kitty cat.
it only takes a couple billion years, and then the cats turn into humans.
Yeah, cat hands.
Every day in this desert landscape is a billion years in the real world.
Oh, no.
Billion.
It's just
Wow.
just like Downton Abbey.
Yeah, it's just like in Downton Abbey.
Just like in Downton Abbey.
You guys are gonna come back and it's gonna be like the Statue of Liberty, but it's gonna be like Cthulhu's face.
Oh, yes. That's right.
You damn dirty apes!
Damn dirty squid people.
Yes. The apes have long expired. So we are all very happy because she looks through the entire charred piece of thing and she goes, huh. Well, apparently that did it. So fire will work. In the worst case scenario, we can set fire to Ringo and he'll be fine.
Well, I mean, certainly there has to be like
Or use very hottest water you can stand
Yeah.
to clean.
hot water. Would that work?
Put a kettle on.
So far, we've only tried to fire, so I cannot tell you.
Maybe
Should
just
we not
try some
scale it
middle
down
ground.
from there and see what where the point is?
Well,
That,
we
Ringo, go put a kettle on. Put the kettle on.
Kettle on.
yeah, we don't
burn
have
my
that many
hand.
samples to keep
Yeah.
destroying.
Hey, having a bit of tea tonight.
Certainly this is worth destroying some samples, isn't it?
Make your argument.
Yeah, well, no.
Surely it's worth
I think it's
destroying
worth
your
it.
discovery.
The other samples are well under control. We have them CO'd away.
Well, I'm the one that's contaminated right now.
Oh, well, yes. We'd be happy to test out how this works with what's still on you. That's
I'd
perfectly-
like that. I'd like to take one hot shower to try and burn it off.
All right.
Or, you
Have a
know,
good time.
Put
Enjoy.
my hands in some hot water.
I mean, there's also still the suit. The suit is still has the contamination on it, right?
All right, I see. I see. Ringo gets the hot shower tonight.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna pour some boiling water on the spot on the suit then.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that seems safer.
Sure.
All right.
Scrub it down.
Science.
I like how I've determined that there's only one hot shower divided amongst all of us.
I like how cavalier the biologist is about like contamination. It's just like, well, you got some on you, I guess.
Yep.
Huh. Well, I guess the suit has some on it. Whatever.
Crack on with you. Yeah.
We've never seen anything like this.
She's
It's on your hand.
She's
It's
less
fine.
cavalier and more like level-headed. Like it's kind of like, well, what can we do now? I mean, he's already been in here, and if there's a thing going on, like she pretty much figures it's not airborne, even though you mentioned it, and it's on things. But she also feels like the sticky stuff on things ship has sailed, and that either we're going to be all right or it's already way too late.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
I have a question. From using biology or chemistry, probably biology, would I be able to get a sense of, okay, so this is a sticky substance?
It was sticky when Ringo experienced it.
Okay. So, would I have any knowledge base about, okay, this is a life form that is still alive, but it's sticky. I'm like wondering if there's anything that I just happen to know with those related things.
That are alive and sticky at the same time.
Well, because, like, it's like,
there's a lot of that
Can
stuff.
it be?
well, I'm just saying,
Right.
like, there are different, forms to different it's like liquid, solid, blah blah blah.
Sure.
It's like this is sticky.
Yep.
It also happens to be like alive.
Right.
Like I'm just wondering if I have any knowledge base.
Well,
to,
there's a
like that sort of thing.
well, being sticky and alive is like they go hand in hand. Like everything from giant slimes to like seminal fluids to like any person who's ever been in the wood. Like it's basically things that are alive and sticky at the same time are ubiquitous in the world. Like
I've been sticky so many
But-
times.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
is there, any
alive.
way, is there any way he could tell which one of these types of substances it could be?
Well, he could
Probably
if he
not.
looks more carefully. Basically, the thing is that cells that form like a mucosal surface is ubiquitous in the living world. It's a way of staying alive, protecting the cell walls and stuff like that. So mucosal defenses for cellular level life is commonplace. It's like one of the most natural mechanisms.
It's clearly different from the
So,
blood we saw earlier.
when-
Right.
That's what I was kind of wondering also, that we got a sample earlier and that was not referred to as sticky in any way.
Right. This is slightly different. This is more like a secretion than a blood type of thing.
And that only happened from
the gunshot
going
all
to
over
the
your suit,
gunshot.
Yeah.
So, okay, just
It's also not that different from like when you like if you're a person and you take a cut and the white blood cells start to like cover you up, you also get that mucosal sticky thing. That's kind of like the result of your white blood cells working. So there's that relationship.
okay. Like it's already
Between liquid and solid, it's kind of halfway
Okay.
stage for.
interesting. Okay,
So
just curious.
So good for you. The boiling water on the suit seems to have worked. So
All
apparently, boiling point is enough to get rid of the cells.
Okay, all right.
All right, boil your clothes.
I-
Boil the coffee
Boil your body?
stuff. Like go
boil
clean everything you
myself.
touch. That is your
Put a
job.
kettle on, mate.
All right. I'm gonna get to work, cleaning, boiling.
It's
Alright.
gonna hurt.
Well,
You can't boil yourself.
right,
Your
but
skin will.
You can take a very, very hot shower,
yes, that's
but that's quite a few degrees away from boiling point.
yeah, it's gonna hurt. Yuri, could I get some like pain pills? Just in
Ooh.
case. Just so I
Oh.
can take a hotter shower.
Drink this.
So here's the
Alright.
thing. So here's something, whether you as players know or not,
Oh,
Yuri can give you enough of a sedative slash anesthesia that you can take a very, very hot shower without feeling it. If he gives you a sufficiently high enough dose, you can take a hot enough shower that will be fatal and not
wow.
feel it.
You should just.
You know all those people who fall into like hot springs and then die like 2 weeks later?
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of heat cell death that your epidermis can take that will actually be fatal and you can't recover from.
Okay.
My recommendation would be to not do your whole entire body. Just do the source.
Oh,
of
right.
Your
Yeah,
hand.
I just need my hand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Like he could give you a local anesthesia and then you can pour boiling water on your arm and hand and forearm, but like it's almost certainly going to result in like
Like a-
deformation.
yeah,
So when you
second-degree
said
burn.
boiling water is enough, you meant exactly boiling water.
Yeah, like they
He
boiled a
has
pot of
to-
water and poured it. They don't know whether or not
There's no like.
like
in
that was the
between, it
only
wasn't
two
just, like,
things we
hot
tested
water.
is fire and boiling water.
Why don't we try? Why don't we try hot water and see what happens, and we will work up from there.
All right.
You can take a
hot.
you,
I mean,
you
I
can
just-
take a
it's
whole
on
as
me.
hot as you can stand shower.
Yeah, it's on me, so
But-
I just have to like just try and wash myself as hot as I can stand, not boiling, and then we can just check after that and be like, am I
You
clean?
can. You can do
that's,
that.
That's what I'm.
Is
gonna
it
do.
all over you or just your hand?
It's probably just the hand, but like.
So then why are you taking a shower?
You
And
can do that,
risking like if
I
it
guess
doesn't
that's
kill it,
true,
you
that's
might
true, I
like
just
in the
tried.
process of
Yeah,
washing. Get
It's now
yourself
splashed
more
into my mouth.
I
contaminated.
should just use like a faucet.
Yes.
You can go ahead and do that one glove thing that and Michael Jackson did.
One glove.
I mean, you're like a new thing. Bit of a tribute.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna wash my hand with hot water.
The scientists are just very excited that you guys are occupying yourselves with your own version of science. It's like maybe if he only showers the left half of his body.
Science.
Welcome to my house back inside
No,
of a volcano.
I coach Ringo on like the surgeon hand wash.
Oh, that whole thing where you're
like
like, this is
style, yeah.
how to make sure you get all the crevices and you make sure. So while you're doing all of that, you can hear the falcon moving again.
Ooh.
Did we settle on the mountain?
I think we're
guess
going to the
so.
cave.
I mean, none of us are in the leadership position. This is Markham Scott's expedition. We're just gonna do whatever he says.
Well, also this was
I
kind
mean,
of this is
it's-
per recommendation from Anthony.
Anthony and I are like the outdoorsmen survivalists.
Yeah, I would trust. He's
Do I agree with Anthony that it is better to
What
get
he said
into the
rings true.
cave?
That
Okay.
basically you know that caves are just warmer and a safer place to be in the
Okay.
code. Like if you're stuck out in the code and you're trapped.
Yeah, it seems unclear to me whether huddling together for warmth in a cave or huddling together for warmth in a box is really that different. But
Well, I mean, I don't know if this has ever come up when you were doing your Eagle Scout thing, but like one of the things that comes up is that if you're ever caught like in a wintry thing, you literally will survive longer if you actually dig a hole into the snow and bury yourself in the snow.
oh yeah, we could make an igloo. You guys.
Yeah, it just turns out that the insulation of being under
Yeah,
ice
it's-
is still better than just being out in a metal box.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The main problem is that this thing is just not that well insulated because it has an internal heating unit, so no one ever thought, oh, we should insulate the walls of this vessel.
That seems weird to
That's-
me.
That seems like an
Really
oversight.
strange.
insane.
Because it's like it's way easier
Wait,
to heat
what?
something that's insulated than it is to heat something that's not insulated.
It turns out it's just
That's why you double pane your windows of your house,
Yeah.
even though it has heating.
yeah, it's really just how vehicles are built. Like there's
Really?
minor insulation, but like if you look in your car or like a tank or anything like that,
This
Oh,
seems like the
what-
even a
exception,
ship.
though.
We're not thinking about the other thing, the fuel cost analysis, right? If you insulate it, it's going to be heavier, harder to move, more fuel.
it's
That
basically
much heavier?
minorly
You just need
insulated.
to make room for a air pocket.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but basically, it would be like your car or like a boat or something like that. It's just not going to be the kind of your home has better insulation because your home is designed to actually hold heat in, whereas like vehicles generally are not.
Besides, if like the heating unit breaks down, what are you gonna do about it anyway?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like
That's
even
why
if
it's
it
got to
was,
be insulated.
if it was well
Right.
insulated and the heating breaks down, you're still dead at the end of the day, because
Yep,
how many
that's-
months can you sit there?
Yuri, we went on an expedition on a budget.
Clearly, very clearly.
I'm just showing.
Sterling has paid a fortune for his portion of this. It's like
Didn't pay enough.
2 fortunes were required.
No, it reminds me of a.
You must build
A
additional
thing, like-
fortunes.
I think it was like after World War II. There was a wealthy developer who wanted to create an island resort for super rich people. So there was this island off the coast of California that they built this luxury hotel for rich people, homes, all that sort of thing, and it was on this like jetty that was just barely connected to San Francisco or something. And little by little, they realized the waves were washing away the connecting road. So they said, "Oh, we can get the Army Corps of Engineers to do some analysis and do this." And so they said, "Well, that's super expensive, blah, blah, blah." So they surveyed the people and they agreed to split the price between the residents and the U.S. government. And so they surveyed the people, and the Army Corps of Engineers did a survey and said, "We're going to need to build 2 jetties to block off the water things, and that will save the island." And the people said, "Oh, that's really expensive. What if we build 1 jetty and see how it goes?"
No,
So they
you never go half jetty.
no, so that's what happened. They built the 1 jetty, and what it did was it actually redirected the waves towards the island, but the other one didn't block the other side, so it actually like quadrupled the rate of erosion, and basically,
Wow.
yeah. So
Eh.
it was one of those horrible examples.
Yeah,
of,
it's
like,
a half measure.
Yeah, and so it was the worst. So the whole
Forever
island
to be
washed away.
known as
Shut-
the one jetty problem.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
Schadenfreude Island.
Yep. Yeah, it was called like Dance Ocean or Ocean Dance or something like that. But yeah, it was one of the worst things. It's like the Army Corps of Engineers.
So they know who
says
to
2 jetties.
blame.
Yep, exactly.
Fucking Dan.
Yep, it was some super rich person who didn't want to pay more super rich money, and ended up ruining everything.
That's
Yeah,
like 5
don't-
of my cars.
don't feel bad.
I only have 95 cars.
That's right. It was if you would have donated another $2 million, they could have insulated this thing. But they're like,
The worst part of that is that he could probably afford to move.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
he probably did.
He was just like, all right, well, that's too bad. Just
Yep.
gonna move.
Oh no,
Okay.
my 3rd home.
yep.